So today, just a quick cheeky little video. We've got a match later on, 2 o'clock, which is being streamed, as I understand it, by Brentford. Now, when they say streamed, it's free to air, and it should either be their YouTube channel or their Facebook page. Keep your eye on details, West Ham, all the West Ham social media feeds. I'm sure they'll let you know in advance of the game, nice and early. I think Brentford got a new stadium. I think I might be right, so maybe it's a chance for them to showcase that. I'm sure they're very excited about that, but probably a little bit disappointed that there's no fans there, which is, you build a new stadium, you build a stadium for fans. Because what is a football ground without a stadium? Well, I guess it's just a bit of grass, isn't it? It's basically a park pitch. So, yeah, a bit of a shame for them, for their inaugural match. Doesn't contain any fans, but hopefully it gets back up and running. So I'm not going to talk about the team too much because, well, I won't talk about the team at all because I discussed it yesterday, but I will be at 3:45 over on the main channel discussing all the highlights, giving a little bit of a review. If you want to see the game through, please do join Tom and Charlie for a watch along. They'll keep you entertained, maybe even a sing along, maybe a song if you're lucky. If you put enough pressure on them in the live chat, they may give you a song. In fact, if I were you, I would insist upon it. Right, anyway, I'm not talking about it anymore. We've got a little bit of Hammers news to get through to take us up to 2 o'clock. First of all, something we haven't really discussed on here, Roberto is off. He's gone. And I think the stories differ somewhat. It seems like we've paid him off and then he's joined Valladolid. I think that's how you say it. I think I've nailed that. I think it's Valladolid. Someone may correct me. I don't actually think we've sold him. I don't received any money, but I think we've given him a severance pay. So I think he had a year left on lots and lots of money. I think we've probably given him about half of the money. I said, oi, you, bugger off, you can't catch a football. And so off he's gone. So we thank him and wish him well. Maybe some don't. Maybe people wish disaster upon him. And you know what? If he's going to go in goal for Valladolid, he will probably bring disaster upon them. I'm amazed that anybody could think that he would be a competent goalkeeper between the sticks. He is an absolute disaster waiting to happen, an absolute calamity. But I'm sure he's a very, very nice man. So we'll leave it there and thank him for his service, or just thank him for chucking the ball in our net a few times and sort of making sure we were in the relegation zone for when David Moyes came in, took over and said, oi, you're off, you're not playing again. David Martin, get in between the sticks. I need to buy a new goalkeeper. Which is pretty much what happened. The other bit of news, an additional bit of news, was Jack Wilshere was being linked with a move to the MLS. Now, I must apologise because somebody did mention this in one of the comments. Oh, did you hear my neck click then? Maybe the muff picks it up. You never know. Somebody mentioned it in the comments when I did the Jack Wilshere video because I said nobody will be interested in Jack. And somebody said in the comments, so apologies for forgetting who it was, that the MLS would be an option for him. And I thought, okay, well, I think I said at the time, that is a really good shout because, with no offence to anybody that watches the MLS, it does have a reputation of being a bit of a retirement home for a lot of the players from this league. It's been an option for them. A lot of them go over there and some tear it right up, like Ibrahimovic. I know he didn't go from here, he came back from there. Wayne Rooney went over there, did really well. I think maybe Gerrard to a lesser extent, or was it Lampard? I don't know. Beckham obviously famously went over there, and now he owns the Inter, I think it might be called Inter Miami. Inter Miami. There we go. So anyway, I do believe that there will be something going on with that, and I think that will be a really good move for Jack, actually. And I think, because as you know, I still think there's a player in there. I think the people in the MLS would really enjoy watching him. In fact, are they allowed to go to games yet? I don't know. I know the US has suffered, I think, more than anybody else with the old coronavirus, actually. So I don't know what state they're in terms of lockdown. But I think that would be a good move for everybody. Number one, I think because they're quite rich and they've got a lot of money. I think they've got some sort of system over there where we're allowed 2 or 3 players above the wage cap, and they normally bring in the stars over from Europe to do that. I also think if he can keep injury-free, I don't think it's necessarily retirement for Jack. Jack is not a 36-year-old Zlatan Ibrahimovic going over there. Jack's 28 years of age, and I think if you can keep him fit, has quite a lot to offer. And they also have quite a lot of energy in the teams over there. They have a lot of guys come over from Mexico and the league and everything over there, and a lot of them come through the college system as well. And there's some, so I think they complement some of these more mature players with a lot of players with a lot of potential, and a lot of high energy that come through. So it could be a really, really good move for him if he can just stick in the middle of the pitch and keep the game ticking over. I don't know. I think it would be a good move. I think it would really benefit West Ham as well, because we wouldn't have him clogging up our... It's not just squad list, it's wage bill as well. The guy's on $100,000 a week. But I do say, I do, just in case it happens really, really quickly, I'm really sorry that it hadn't worked out for him. I wanted that to work out as much as any transfer of recent times, because I just rated the player really, really highly. I love the way he plays football, and I would hope that whoever gets him is getting a good player and gets a chance to really sort of rekindle his career over there. The other story, I'm just going to go to the top of the page here, and it's sorry, I touched me. Sorry if you heard a sound then, that was me. I touched me muff accidentally when I was trying to reach for my glasses, as you do. Okay. Hammers send Slav a warning. So Grady Diangana will be receiving no assurances that he'll be getting a regular first-team place. If you remember, we didn't hear it directly from Grady's mouth, but I mentioned it. I thought he wanted to feel loved. He wanted some assurances that he featured in the first-team plans. And I think I said in the video, I don't think necessarily he would have wanted to, you have to start me in every game, because he doesn't seem that type of guy. He doesn't seem that delusional either that he would think that he could necessarily command a first-team place. I think what he was asking for is a chance. Give me a chance. Give me a fair crack at a whip. And I think he's going to get that. But the article says he's received no assurances of a first-team place. It says reports have resurfaced over the last few days that the Hammer wants to move if David Moyes fails to assure him of his inclusion in the first-team plans. Now, that's different, isn't it? First-team plans are different to a guaranteed first-team place. It says, but there is no chance whatsoever of such a situation developing, so on and so forth. And the club have sent a reminder to former boss Slaven Bilic that the winger will not be available for a second season on loan should the Baggies pursue such an option. Well, I can't imagine, if this is them sending a warning out, saying you ain't having him on loan, I can't imagine for a second that West Brom would be silly enough to think that they would get him on loan. I'd be amazed if West Brom came back and said, can we have him on loan? I think they would know that that is not a realistic proposition. Anyway, it goes on to say, foreseeing the unlikely possibility that Baggies may look for a loan, which is what I said, should Grady not be included in Moyes' plans, we're told categorically that loan will not be happening for a player probably valued at 25 million after his exploits in helping the Midlanders to automatic promotion. So here's a quote. Here's your source, your West Ham source. I know who would have quoted this, but we'll leave it open. It says, we don't hand out automatic first-team places at this club, and why would we want to help a competitor anyway? Which is basically, obviously, the competitor is West Brom. I found that quite interesting, really, particularly... I read that as them putting a £25 million price tag on Grady Diangana. I did, but that would be me. I'm a bit cynical like that. I don't think he's worth 25 million. I think very few players are worth 25 million. And I think the Eze deal possibly has gone through, and if what Palace managed to do was negotiate some form of deal whereby if every hoop is jumped through forever and a day, that Eze will cost 20 million, but I think they've possibly put down 13 or 14. I can't imagine that West Brom are going to go and pay 25 million for Grady Diangana, nor is he worth it. But I don't like the price attached to him. I don't mean the value. I mean, I don't like the fact that he has had a price tag put on top of him. I'm going to keep a keen eye on that. I really am, because I don't want to see him pimped out. I don't want to see him touted. I don't want to see him dangled, if you pardon the expression, for sale in front of anybody. I don't want that to be a come and get him at 25 million quid, if you know what I mean, because I think it's very, very important that we keep hold of him. You all know my opinions on it. If you've watched any of my tuned in for the first time, you don't. Basically, If you do, welcome to the channel. And I would like to keep Grady Diangana and play him on the left side of our midfield. Everybody else knows that. I understand they're not guaranteeing the first team place, as I've already discussed. In terms of helping out a rival, well, I think that is only sensible as well. But you can't have it both ways. You can't stick a price tag on someone's head and then be fussy about who buys whatever it is, be that a footballer or a product in a shop. If you've got something to sell and there's a price tag on it, you really can't be fussy about who buys it. Although I do understand, but then in which case you don't sell to anybody in the Premier League, because realistically, everybody's a rival, because everybody is capable of taking 6 points off you throughout the season, whether it's Manchester United or whether it's West Bromwich Albion. So those are my thoughts on that news. That I will watch that one with interest. A little bit naughty. Anyway, that's it. I will catch up with you later on, 3:45 over on the main channel. As I discussed, enjoy your day. If you've got a video, by the way, and I said this yesterday, if you've got something to say about the Brentford game, then send us over a video. Then you can do that on hammerschat@gmail.com. As soon as I've finished my review, I'll start looking, see if there's any videos, and I'll upload them straight away to this channel. A little bit of fan reaction, maybe. That's if we've seen it. Maybe the stream's rubbish and we all feel like we're, I was going to say, a million miles away, or in other words, as a conversion to that would be the back of the London Stadium in row, triple Z, because it goes back further than Z, obviously. And everybody's that small and we can't tell who's who. Hopefully not. Hopefully with their new swanky new stadium, they should have a nice gantry. I do like a nice gantry. Hopefully Brentford have built themselves a nice new gantry with lots of new camera angles, and they want to show off their new media suite, and we get some lovely, lovely footage. That's it. I'll catch up with you later.